Hello and welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute-a-day podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse, recorded here in the dining room of the Bible Bistro, located in Sharonville, Ohio. Hey there, friend. Welcome back to Daily Dose Radio here in the Bible Bistro. Well, today we are looking at Psalm 94, verses 20 through 23. And yesterday we kind of took a turn. You know, the psalmist is considering now all that he said, and he asks that rhetorical question there in 16 and then answers it. And then we're going to see a little bit more of that here today in 20 through 23. It's really wonderful. You know, let me just read. Let me go ahead and read. If you have your Bible there, open it up to Psalm 94, verse 20 is where we're going to start. Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frames mischief by a law? They gather themselves together against the soul of the righteous, and condemn the innocent blood. But the Lord is my defense, and my God is the rock of my refuge. He shall bring upon them their own iniquity, and shall cut them off in their own wickedness. Yea, the Lord our God shall cut them off. So you'll notice in verse 20, boy, there's so much here. Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee? You remember the commentary in 1 Corinthians chapter 6. You know, when Paul is asking the question, you know, what fellowship has righteousness with unrighteousness? What fellowship has Belial with Christ? And again, we have it here in the psalmist's language. Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee? Well, the answer to that question is no. And you notice what the throne of iniquity is doing. Frames mischief by law. Have we seen that in our day? Absolutely. The corruption of civil magistrates and magisteriums all over the world enshrine drug use, alcohol, sexual indiscretion and indecency, divergency, all kinds of criminality. They make laws to make it okay for these things to happen, when of course they're against the law of God and against the course of nature itself. And so we see it in our country, in America, it's happening. It's happened in countries all around us and all around the world. They're trying to frame deviancy into law to make it legal and to make it, acceptable. But it's not. And there's no fellowship between what God would say and what they would say because they're framing mischief into law. These are the people who sit on the throne of iniquity. They gather themselves together against the soul of the righteous and condemn the innocent blood. Why? Because the righteous would tell them, you're wrong. This is wrong. This is not morality. This is not right. It's not ethical. This is dirty and it's evil and it's wicked. We can point that out to them, but they gather themselves together to silence the soul of the righteous and condemn the innocent blood. And that's where we live, friends. We live in this. We live in 20 and 21, don't we? We're there. We don't have to pretend. We don't have to imagine what was going on in David's day because we can just look around and see it happening in our own day. 20 and 21 is happening right now. It's where we live. Notice verse 22. But the Lord is my defense, and my God is the rock of my refuge. Oh, here we have some Davidic language, don't we? Sounds like Psalm 18 to me. The rock of my refuge. Yep, that is David for sure. The Lord is my defense. He is a strong tower. The righteous run into that strong tower, and they're safe. And so the Lord is our defense, even in the midst of a generation that has absolutely lost its mind with wickedness and iniquity. God is still our defense, no matter what happens. Nothing changes this. Nothing changes the fact that the Lord will not cast off his people. Nothing changes the fact that he will not forsake his inheritance. Nothing changes the fact that the Lord is our defense. He shall bring upon them their own iniquity, cut them off in their wickedness, in their own wickedness. So all these laws that they frame by mischief, they're just going to fall into them themselves. He will cut them off. They will be ashamed. The Lord our God shall cut them off. And there's the promise. He begins with Rise up, O God. And then he comes to the promise here in 23, and he says, yeah, the Lord's going to take care of it. I don't have to worry about it. The Lord is my defense. All right, friends, join me again next time. We'll look at Psalm 95 here on Daily Dose Radio. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. For more fresh and delicious Bible studies, podcasts, books, and more, check out the Bible Bistro online and on YouTube. Join me again next time for Daily Dose Radio.